Since we seem to be on the subject about submitting to people, I'm about to step on some more toes. Here we go. There are certain social organizations and religious organizations that put a lot of emphasis on one partner submitting to another, regardless of sex. But the thing is that some of these organizations do not teach the entire scenario. You have to understand, just because you're a man or just because you're a woman, you don't get automatic submission just because of your sexual status. Nope. That's not the way it goes, and that's not in the Bible. So that's just a clear case of somebody taking the Bible out of context so they can have people under their power. You got to be careful. I know that there are a couple women for years, they have been doing nothing but praying and praying and praying and praying and praying that their mate would act right. He won't keep a job. He's out in the street making babies left and right, coming home high every day, gets his paycheck, and not even an hour after he gets his paycheck, he's coming home asking you how the bills are going to get paid because he spent up all his money. He's angry. He's verbally abusive, sometimes physically abusive. He disrespects the kids or hardly ever sees them, and will turn around and go to church, temple, or whatever, and will act like he's a pillar of the community. And those people think that he's so great, come to find out he's a monster behind closed doors, and you've been with him for years. On men's side, you got this woman that was no good from the jump. Disagreeable, poverty-minded, no moral values, no moral code, disrespectful to you and the children, won't listen, stupid. I can go on with this. Flirtatious, disrespectful to you in public, spend all your money and don't even save a dime. And you've been with this woman for years, and you're praying all the time for your Creator to help the situation, to help them see the light. And all these years that you've been dealing with these people, male and female, your Creator has told you on numerous occasions that you need to leave that alone. But you got so much pride in your heart, you don't want anybody to say that, oh yeah, I knew that was going to fall apart. You don't want to be another divorce statistic. Now, I'm not saying that people can't change. I did. If anybody's capable of doing that. What I am saying is that maybe you should part company while they get their stuff together. Be separated for a while. If you don't want to divorce them, be separated for a while so they can get their stuff together. If you want to try to put your marriage together, get some counseling. And when you actively see that they're making a change and making an effort, and you feel in your heart that it's going to work out, okay, go back. See, I used to be one of these types of people. Once you made a serious mistake with me, I wouldn't give you a second chance. I wouldn't give you a second chance. Now, there are some instances on this earth and situations where you do have to let them go after the first try. It depends on what that little voice tells you. We got to learn how to listen to that little voice. It's not just something that pops out of the blue. It's your Creator talking to you. But see, this goes back to you worrying about what people think. I'm going to tell you something. I had a situation a while back. This was years ago. I was always the one that had a tendency to have a side hustle in addition to a job, because I was told when I was little, never have all of your eggs in one basket, because if that basket has a hole in it, all your eggs are gone. And there were times where I listened and there were times where I didn't. But during this particular time, I decided I would start tutoring. Now, this was before the online situation happened with all these tutoring services. I knew I was good with math, and I knew I was good in writing. And there used to be a weekly newspaper that would come out. It was called the Penny Saver. And it was a free newspaper where you could basically advertise your goods and services. If you wanted to place paid place paid ads, excuse me. You could do that for a small amount, and it would go out to thousands of people every single month. I had a job, but I knew there was some financial hurdles that I needed to clear, so I went ahead and picked up a second gig, and I said to myself, okay, I'm going to use my knowledge to help people, so I advertised tutoring services for math and helping people get their GED. So, of course, I would have to enclose my phone number. Now, I was involved with a gentleman at the time. We weren't on the path to matrimony or anything like that, but we were seeing each other pretty regularly, and I kind of knew he had a little bit of a temper, but I found out the extent one day when someone called to reply to my ad, and it was a man. And I said, excuse me, I got to talk to him about something. Didn't take even 5 minutes for me to outline the policies and to set up an appointment and everything. And this fella flips out. I don't want no so-and-so's calling my lady on the phone. I said, what? I don't want no so-and-so. I don't want no men calling on your phone. As a matter of fact, if you're going to tutor anybody, you don't need to be tutoring no men. I said, so in other words, this thing that I'm going to take care of financially, you going to handle it for me? By the way, I go to church every single week, and I'm in the such and such ministry and the such and such ministry where I deal with members of the opposite sex all the time. You're going to have an issue with that? You're overly jealous for no reason. First of all, I said, you didn't even pay the cost to be the boss. Let's get that part straight. Your name is not on my birth certificate. Your name is not on my high school diploma. Your name is not on the lease in this apartment or on my car payment. So you have no reason to come in here barely knowing me, telling me how I need to deal with the opposite sex. You evidently had some issues in the past with someone that you got butt hurt behind because they were cheating on you. You have problems with fidelity. So you're transferring that negative energy into a new relationship with me without even looking at my behavior to even determine that I am even going to do that. I'm not going to step out on you all willy-nilly like that. So what you need to do is check yourself. Well, I'm just saying. I said, okay, you know what? I said, I see where this conversation is going right now. I said, first of all, you're trying to start a disagreement that really didn't need to be started. I said, you have these overly jealous feelings. I don't do jealousy. And I said, and I'm trying to make this extra change, and you're taking a small situation that's totally innocent and you're turning it into something else in your mind. So unless you're going to seek help or something, I think we need to discontinue our friendship. I'm not the one crazy. I said, no, I said, you're right. I said, I'm the one crazy for dealing with you. And that was the end of that. A few weeks later, I met somebody else. That's how life goes. So you got to realize who you're dealing with. When you have somebody like that, it's not cute that they're jealous in the beginning. It's not cute when they're jealous in the middle. It's not cute when they're jealous in the end. When somebody's poverty-minded and don't want nothing, it's not your job to sit here and have the person change an attitude that they've had for years before they met you. If they choose to change that attitude, they choose to change it. Not because you came along and you got all this love and wisdom and resources. Because if they do change, they're only going to do it for a little while and revert back to their ways. They have to decide within themselves to change their attitudes. So stop going to the altar every time and turn around praying for a situation you have more control over than you do. You just don't want to make that hard decision. That's the bottom line. You don't want to make that hard decision to leave them alone. You got to be realistic about what's going on and make some changes. Just saying.